Go. Welcome again, Friday night, little after 7. Here we are. We are drafting best bosses this week. Got our franchises here live on Discord. We got a good setup here. A lot of great content for you. A lot of stupid content, but that makes it fun too. We've got our four franchises here talking with us live. They'll be making their picks live for us as we go on. Let's introduce them first up. Tonight in the first round slot, we got first gentleman up. Wishes he was playing Cyberpunk. Wishes he was playing Cyberpunk. How we feeling tonight? How you feel about that first overall pick coming up later?
You know, I hate to be cocky, but honestly, I feel like we deserve the first pick overall. And we had a rough last season, but we're gonna turn things around with this year's draft. So
Okay, definitely
look
looking
out,
forward to
look
the
out for
future.
those power picks. Look out for
Oh,
those power picks.
I'm expecting him now. Good luck tonight, then. Next up in that second slot there, second overall, going to be Michael Scott Paper Company. Any big plans for tonight, Michael Scott Paper Company?
Had bigger plans. Unfortunately, there was a name change halfway through development. One of
Mm.
my competitors was Thunder Mifflin, and now my franchise name has a little less zing because of that. They changed their name, but I'm hoping to still make big strides tonight, Chief. I'm ready.
Excellent. Good luck to you too. And then in the third slot, probably most appropriately named here, Titties. Titties, how we doing today?
We're doing good. We're doing good. We're looking forward to crushing the competition.
Ooh, Titties are out here ready to. They're going for blood tonight, folks. Titties playing no games at all. We're drafting seriously those best bosses. Any draft strategies, Titties? Anything you're looking for?
Would, but not looking forward to sharing that with my enemies.
Okay, good. Makes sense. Makes sense. Smart decision. Last, certainly not least, though, making up that first double pick there in the fourth slot, Biden's cabinet rejects. What are we thinking tonight on the draft?
Well, I have 17 cabinet positions, and
17.
uh, I'm gonna find the
Is that related to actual politics? Is that a number I should know, but I don't because I don't keep up with such things?
no. There's genuinely 17. Sorry, 16
Oh, one just lost the
cabinet
cut.
positions.
Okay.
Apologies. 16 cabinet positions, and I'm gonna try and find the worst possible choice for 10 of them.
Incredible. Incredible. So hopefully your best bosses really just sums up a spectacular shit show.
Easy decision it was.
All right, let's get that draft noise going. I love this thing so much. I know you guys can't hear it on here, but it's a big deal. All right, with the first overall pick tonight in the Best Bosses draft, wishes he was playing Cyberpunk. Who have we got in mind?
Like I said, easy decision here. Les Grossman, Tropic Thunder.
Let's.
Length.
With the second overall pick in tonight's Best Bosses draft, Michael Scott Paper Company. What is your decision?
I'm gonna have to give everyone a big go Bulls. Someone which I have a personal acquaintance with, someone I know you have a very strong personal acquaintance with. I'm gonna have to pick the old Judy, give him the Genshaft.
Hey, all right. And I've apparently pressed the sound button again. But Judy Genshaft making it in here, the second overall pick. Oh, let me reset that
For
noise.
my first pick, I'm going with a true capitalist, a professional boss, Tom Nook.
Tom Nook. All right. So we've got now it's a Tanuki, right? I think everyone thinks like, oh, it's a cute raccoon. It's Tanuki, correct?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
my options for Secretary of State, as we
Oh.
all know, this is the preeminent diplomat, representative to the world. I feel like Handsome Jack is the person that would be
So with
a
your first overall pick, taking Handsome Jack from the Borderland, who have we got coming up?
this next choice was a debate because he could fit in a lot of roles. But I feel like Mr. Burns from The Simpsons would work really understands what needs to be done as the Secretary of Labor, really understands what your average worker goes through.
All right, second
Hell
pick's got
yeah,
to be
brother.
someone that is beloved by all Americans, someone that knows what the people want. Gonna have to go with President Camacho.
President Camacho. Can you tell? I'm gonna write down his the quick name here. Can you read off what his full name
Hell
is?
yeah, brother.
You
It's
ain't
been a
knows
bit.
on the Mountain Dew, Herbert Camacho.
The seventh overall pick, the third in the second round, Michael Scott Paper Company. Who have we decided on?
I'm just gonna have to do it, and I might have to tell you the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. But I'm really in it for a lot of leaders who may have sketchy backgrounds, but they can get the job done. This man had a war against himself. I'm gonna have to go with Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars.
All right, so Sheev Palpatine, Emperor Palpatine, making it here in the second round. With that, with the final pick here in the second round, wishes he was playing Cyberpunk. Who are we thinking?
Again, easy pick. We got our boss man running the mic, telling people what to do, where to go, and we got to have a guy to back it up. Somebody who knows, they know how to just get things done. They also know how to have a good time. So we're going with my boy Bobby B. Old
Bob,
Robert Baratheon.
the High Lord, the King of the Seven Kingdoms, Robert Baratheon. I believe I'm spelling this.
And again, easy pick. I'm shocked that they didn't get picked up in the first round from my competitors. But we're going with the Warthog. I'm talking Frank Reynolds from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Frank Reynolds. All right, let me get that going here. Frank Reynolds. Michael Scott Paper Company, who's coming up here with that second pick in the third round.
Now, I'm gonna pick a man with great hair, great style, great business savvy, Jack Donaghy.
Jack Donaghy. All right, now with the 11th overall pick coming up by Titties, who have we decided on?
So I'm thinking Tom Nook is good with the finances, but he needs a little counterweight. So I'm going with Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, Mr. Krabs. I won't do the next scream coming up if you've seen the meme where he just gets knocked over. But yeah, so continue on. Let's hear that 12th overall pick from you, Biden's cabinet rejects.
So I was thinking, who knows more about commerce and the importance of competition in the economy than my good pal Walt Disney, whose company now owns half of all media.
All right. Walt Disney, which honestly is kind of just taking over the world as it sees fit. For that fourth round to begin, go ahead, Biden's cabinet rejects.
All right, so for Secretary of Defense, who has more experience, who has more military experience than the Lich King?
Arthas Menethil. All right, so the Lich King, I'm going to put it both his names, Arthas Menethil. There, the Crown Prince of Lordaeron. The next pick here in the fourth round. Titties. Who are we thinking?
So unlike some of my competitors that may be choosing people that lead terrorist attacks against their own people, I was thinking someone a little more, someone that would help a little more with my public image. So I'm thinking J. Jonah Jameson.
J. Jonah Jameson. So, let me see if I can do this right. That would be the editor of whatever newspaper it is in the Spider-Man universe, kind of in charge of Peter Parker, am I correct? With the third pick here in the fourth round, Michael Scott Paper Company. What's the selection?
I've had a lot of strong leaders so far with big aspirations. I want to keep that trend going, but I think I really need someone who's a really strong public speaker, someone who's very likable in the public sphere, like Judy, but, has a bit of a controversy. But in their time, I think this person was really someone who could bring people together. I'm going to go with Adolf Hitler.
Oh my! A shocker here in the fourth round. Adolf Hitler falling to the Michael Scott Paper Company. Adolf Hitler, definitely a mover and a shaker. He did. Now you can't say he didn't lead. Money, pizza.
Money is what we're looking for.
Money
Money
is
is
power,
what
yeah.
we need. Who has the most money that you could possibly think of? It's your boy Tony Stark.
Ooh, all right. So we go straight from maybe a well-known villain that some people might have heard of, Adolf Hitler, to Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, R.I.P. Sorry for spoilers, folks. Here, spoiler-free stream, everybody. Moving on, fifth round is going to start up with you as well. Wishes he was playing Cyberpunk. Hit us with that next selection.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do a bit of a 180 here.
Ooh, okay.
So I'm gonna go from Tony Stark, hero, many people would consider, to the King of Hell. So we're gonna choose Crowley from Supernatural.
All right.
Just I mean, again, controversial, maybe.
It, ooh. With the second pick here in the 5th round, pick number 18, Michael Scott Paper Company. Who have we got?
I'm feeling really Jersey strong. Got to represent my roots. I'm gonna have to go with someone who gets the job done no matter what. Maybe not through the most lawful means, but I'm gonna have to go with my man Tony Soprano.
Tony Soprano. The next pick here in the draft, Titties. Who are we thinking?
Today I'm thinking we need a military leader, but I'm also not trying to get someone that's a goddamn war criminal. So today I'm gonna go with number one.
Number 1. Now that is AKA Nigel Uno. If I can type this correct, fries. Ooh. All right. With the final pick here in the 5th round, pick number 20 overall, Biden's cabinet rejects. Who have you selected?
So I need a Secretary of Education, and whose platform is better known for being a truly unbiased, truthful source of fact than Mark Zuckerberg.
Ah, yes, of course. The Facebook man himself. We're just going with Zuck. Zuck. I'm going to spell it wrong too, but in the 6th round, and then we'll have a brief halftime intermission to talk about some draft strats. Biden's cabinet rejects, pick number 21. Let's hear it.
So I do need a Secretary of Health and Human Services, someone that's really a man of the people, someone who understands what it's like to be your average Joe and who cares for children. So obviously, my pick is Kylo Ren, most famously known for blowing up planets and murdering his classmates.
Number 22 overall. Who have we selected, Titties?
So I'm all for representation of uh all the people that needs to be represented. But today I'm gonna go with that Instagram girl who is her own boss.
Let me remember what the full name is. That that Instagram girl who is her own boss and keeps DMing me. Here in the draft, pick number 23, Michael Scott Paper Company. Who have we decided on?
I think I'm gonna shift gears here a little, because I've been kind of going with folks who are maybe a little superficial, maybe a little too much of a go-getter, in some instances, maybe.
Okay,
Especially
overwhelming,
maybe
overpowering, maybe.
maybe went a little too far. But I'm gonna have to rein in Ronald Swanson from Parks and
Oh,
Recreation, really just to tone it down a little bit. Provide that maybe hey, stop and think about that before you go ahead and try to take over the world.
why did I put Ron Swan?
Happy that I'm proving them wrong. But our next choice is Miranda Priestley.
Miranda Priestley. Now, I believe again.
Truth is, there's nobody who can do what she does, and that's all. That's all you have to know.
All right, Miranda Priestley. That's the head of the fashion industry, essentially. In round 7 awaits. What's our
Round
pick?
7, again, easy pick. Raymond Holt, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Now, this guy is a nicer guy, I would say, than most of my other picks. Not to say Tony Stark and them are bad people, but they're not generally known as nice people. And
Should watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Doesn't he have a corgi? Is that? I feel like
he does.
more
He
bonus
does have,
points.
and his corgi's name is Cheddar.
Cheddar,
And Cheddar
yes.
is amazing.
Kind of a big deal. So that's even more points there, wrapping up a corgi and the police force. Brooklyn Nine-Nine's police chief with the second pick of the 7th round, Michael Scott Paper Company. Who have we got in mind?
I think my first couple of picks were in Overdrive, and Ron Swanson put it in Park. Now I want to progress. I want to progress forward a little more conservatively. Someone who's a great leader that I've looked up to ever since I first saw Star Trek: The Next Generation. He's a man that I took a lot of inspiration from, even though he's not real. But Patrick Stewart himself, Captain Picard from Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Captain Picard. 7th round pick. Titties. Who have we got?
I'm actually a little gonna actually concede that I'm a little inspired by one of my competitors.
Oof.
And I'm actually gonna go with Charles Xavier.
Charles Xavier. So I feel like that's another pick of Patrick Stewart back to back, right? With the final pick here in the 7th round, Biden's cabinet rejects. Who have we got?
So, as an established and really a connoisseur of
Hmm.
Warcraft, I feel that Yoda should be the Secretary of Veteran Affairs.
Interesting. Yoda. Yoda.
Yeah,
Your next pick in that 8th round. Who have we got?
the Secretary of the Interior should be someone who's always consistently treated every American, every kind of American well, as we all live in the interior. And I feel that George Washington just does not have that track record and should be our Interior Secretary.
So picking him because he wouldn't make a good decision. Who have we got next for us on the franchise?
You know, it's funny you mentioned Cyberpunk. He had recently mentioned thinking that he was 10 steps ahead of a couple of people. I don't know who he's talking about, but when that whole only female thing was totally a fluke, because here's my proof. I'm going with Angela Bauer.
Angela Bauer. All right, my complete knowledge of this just has to do with that she's in Who's the Boss? Strictly because of Michael Scott Paper Company. Who have we decided on?
You know, Heath, we really wouldn't be the Michael Scott Paper Company without, you may know him as Prison Mike, Michael Klump, Michael Scarn, Date Mike, Urkel Grew, Ping, or Mykonos, but of course we all know and love him as Michael Scott.
Michael Scott. And that's another one that I would have thought would have gone a lot sooner. Jeez, I am spelling these horribly. Michael Scott. Falling here. With Ron Swanson, too. You got to head, sir. Who have we got coming for the end of the 8th round?
Good news, everyone. We're picking. You know him, you love him, Hubert Farnsworth. Runs a company, runs a delivery company, quite well, might I add, despite many fuck ups of the crew. Has survived. But also, and I don't, not enough people are talking about this. He's from the future. Do you know what we could do with that type of information? Running a business was at a crossroads, I should say. Everything else has been very obvious up until the 9th round. But and it might come as a surprise to some people, but I'm going with Sephiroth.
Sephiroth.
Yep. This is specifically, it is for a person.
Of tonight's Random Draft League, Michael Scott Paper Company. Who have we decided on?
I'm gonna have to stay with my trend of cool, composed leaders, and this leader, I mean, he's made the ultimate sacrifice. You know, he's been a great inspiration to many kids and some creepy adults alike, who may be a little too into it. I'm gonna have to go with Dumbledore.
Dumbledore. Albus Dumbledore. Okay. So, the headmaster for Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry with the 3rd pick in the 9th round. Titties. Who are we choosing?
Going with someone that probably deserved a much better seat than the 9th round, but Steven Stamkos.
Steven Stamkos, the captain. There we go. That's the fucking boy. Oh,
I'll admit it was getting a little hairy for a little, but it came to me. Who has experience designing neighborhoods and building cities and yet makes them the worst? We have Michael from The Good Place as the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development.
all
He
right.
lives
Interesting. A good fit there in your team for someone who purposely is going to do bad. Excellent. Michael from the good
exactly.
place. The architect. Wow, that honest checks your final pick here. Pick number 37. Are we ready?
We are.
Go
Now,
ahead.
there was one obvious man to round out Biden's cabinet rejects, and this man will be the Attorney General. And I truly believe that he is going to be disappointing in every way that matters
Like a good
and in
man
every
is.
way that doesn't. I would like my final pick to be Joe Biden himself.
I was wondering if you would here. Joe Biden. Oh, it's thrown off my. Let's hear it. Who is the 38th overall pick tonight?
Today we are going with Mufasa.
Mufasa. Incredible. Mufasa getting selected here with the final pick from Titties, the original king of the prize. Pick number 39, your final pick in the 10th round. Who's coming up?
I think probably maybe the most controversial person on my team I'm looking at right now is probably the Führer himself, Adolf Hitler.
I would agree.
And I'm
I would agree.
thinking,
Maybe on this whole
how
draft
can
board.
I quell this man's unpredictable rage? Because that's really the main thing that we're going to be struggling with. What does Hitler love? Hitler loves Germany, of course.
The motherland.
He doesn't love some other kind of people or some other places. That's fine, but he loves dogs. And I think to really round out the wholesome back end of my team, I'm gonna have to pick Pippa because she's gonna bring that girl power that we need.
Pippa, come here. You've been drafted. You've been drafted.
She's gonna quell.
You've been drafted. Pippa, we have a lot of things coming up.
If Adolf gets a little rowdy, just
you've
got to keep in the room. He's gonna get distracted.
You got to keep Hitler in line. Can you do it, Pippa? Are you ready? Pippa, kill. She had a yip.
Played out exactly how I saw it playing out.
The pieces have fallen in place.
And everything has fallen into place. And a lot of people, this is Mr. Irrelevant. This is the last pick of the draft. This is number 40. A lot of people would use this opportunity to make a meme pick. Pick something ridiculous, like somebody who's killed millions of people. Maybe, cartoon characters. But I'm not going to do that. Well, I am going to pick a cartoon character, so that's not true. Okay. But this is a serious pick. This is not a meme. We are going to think about the next generation. Sometimes, usually, that means building up an individual to be something eventually. But why waste that time? We're choosing Boss Baby now because he already has what it takes.
Boss Baby. And kind of still a strong value pick there. Boss Baby himself falling. An early submission. Many people wanted to put Boss Baby, but now falling too. Wishes we were playing Cyberpunk there. Boss, you know what? I like this pick just for the spice of it. I like the value here. We're going with Creed Bratton. Quabity. You know what? We got to go for name recognition here. How about Captain Jack Sparrow? Because even if he is a terrible boss, a terrible captain, that the worst captain you've ever heard of, you have heard of him. Last two. For the final two honorable mentions, these are getting entries into the raffle. We're gonna go with Bowser, the big Koopa King himself, that nasty fire-breathing fuck. I mostly liked him in Super Smash Bros. Melee. Was it Melee was the GameCube? Yeah, Melee and then Brawl. Played that on the GameCube a bunch with cousins and stuff. Really like Bowser. Just a fire-breathing, the turtle shell stuff spinning. I wanted to give that a shout-out as well. We're going to go with Doug Bowser. He's like head CEO or something high up in Nintendo. I just thought it was clever because the person submitted him and said, no, I meant Doug Bowser, not Doug Bowser. With that, we've finished our draft. It's been a great night. I liked the theme a lot. We had a great variation. We will be back next week. The theme will be posted. I already talked about it, so you can get thinking, maybe Christmassy, thinking in the holiday spirit. We'll be back next week.